First unheard message.
What's up, B-Rob? This is Jared, one half of the hashtag Blackout Podcast, and owner and proprietor of Hooks, Rubs, and Spices. Hey, I'm listening to the Colt 45, I guess Megazord, Lion Zord, Lion Voltron and the Car Voltron, which is my favorite, the combination episode. And yeah, man, good show thus far. I've gotten to the point now where, y'all are talking about, Hooks, Rubs, and Spices, that hashtag We Smoke Meat, and laughed it up a little bit over it. It's all right, man. That's my tagline, hashtag We Smoke Meat, because, I'm about smoking that meat. Now, I know y'all thought it was funny, and the tagline of what it was. And yeah, it's a little silly. I do know. It's a play on words. But also, if you have a certain type of mind, which you gentlemen sound like you do, which I know you do, you might think it's something else. You know what I'm saying? You might think it's something else. Nobody's out here saying, we smoke meat like cigars. You know what I'm saying? Like putting sausages in our mouth, even though sausages are delectable. We're just talking about throwing some meat on the pit, dropping some logs, and smoking that. So anyway, yeah, man, but definitely, get some of this spice in your life, put some of this spice on your lips, because you'll love it. We know you love it, and you'll love it even more. And man, we're actually bringing out a couple new flavors coming soon, and bringing back an oldie but a goodie. Finally able to make that again. So yeah, man, can't wait to launch that, to drop that. But in the meantime, you can follow me at Hooks Spice Rubs on Instagram and Twitter. And you can follow me and Jay on Instagram and Twitter. And Twitter, hashtag Blackout Pod. Anyway, hope y'all are good. Take care. God bless. Put some of this Hooks Rub all over your meat. Peace.
End of message. Next message.
Rob, it's Hoppy Rogers, buddy. I finally made it. Fuck Hollywood. Fuck all the haters. Fuck unemployment. Fuck all the shit I've been through in this whole goddamn period. I am paid, buddy. Fucking crypto. Are you on crypto? Please get on crypto. Bitcoin. V-Chain. V-Chain is at like 4 cents right now, buddy. Bitcoin, look, please buy Bitcoin. Bitcoin. The end all be all is Bitcoin. Buy Bitcoin. Stack your Bitcoin. Keep 80% in Bitcoin. But look, Cardano, V-Chain, Polkadot, some of these other cryptos are about to fucking go blow. V-Chain is at 4 cents. Dude, I'm telling you, it's going to $2 and then $10 and then, bruh, get in it. I'm moving to Nicaragua. I'm moving. I'm out this motherfucker. I am paid. I done got paid. All this work I did on movies and all these other projects. Fuck that shit. I am paid. And look, if you get V-Chain, you ain't never got to sell your V-Chain. They're going to send you VThor for holding V-Chain. And then you can stake your V-Chain and get even more VThor. And then you can just live off your VThor and never even sell nothing. Keep your Bitcoin. Keep your V-Chain. But look, the price on Bitcoin is going down right now because all these idiots are selling and all these billionaire corporation people are getting in and they ain't got to worry about insider traded. Let's say Coca-Cola is about to buy Snapple and then everybody in Coca-Cola buys Snapple stock for a week and then Coca-Cola buys Snapple. That's insider trading. That's the security. There ain't no insider trading on Bitcoin. So everybody's buying in for the next 2 weeks and they're keeping the price going down on purpose. And then after all these people buy in these corporations, all the corporations are going to buy in and this shit is going to the fucking moon, buddy. And we're going to be rich. I'm rich already. I can't wait. It's going to be a fucking, dude, if you don't have Bitcoin, you ain't in the elite. Look, Janet Yellen in the Federal Reserve talking about don't buy Bitcoin. Oh, it's scary. This and that and the other. Meanwhile, the Federal Reserve's holding 70,000 Bitcoin. You heard me. 70,000. She talking shit about it. Meanwhile, she's trying to keep the price low so they can get paid because the dollar is bullshit. They just print whatever the fuck they want. Meanwhile, there's only 21 million Bitcoin. You heard me. 21 million. And anybody that has a fucking piece of Bitcoin in 5 years is rich. And I'm telling you, get in on the V-Chain too. The V-Chain's more of a gamble than Bitcoin. But look at what all the corporations, they working with McDonald's and Walmart and hospitals and all that shit. I'm telling you, the Chinese ain't fucking around. They coming too. So get in on it. I love you to death. I'm moving to fucking Nicaragua. I'm out this motherfucker. Fuck Hollywood. Fuck getting canceled on Twitter. Fuck all that bullshit. I came out in the end, motherfucker, like a lotus flower. In the dirt, clean as shit. Love you, motherfuckers. I'm out.
You are now listening to
Random Ramblings with Rob. Random Ramblings with Rob. Yeah.
What up, everybody? This your boy B Rob, and I'm back with another edition of the Random Ramblings with Rob podcast. First and foremost, I'd like to thank you, the listener, for coming back each and every week, or however you listen to podcasts. If you're a first-time listener, I'd like to thank you oh so much for giving my show a try. And if anybody recommended you to me, go ahead and lean over to give them a crisp high five. But I know we live in dire times and everything, and coronavirus and whatever else have you. Do it safely if you're going to engage in physical contact. You should be doing that safely anyway if you're engaging in physical contact, if you know what I'm saying. But if you're still being socially cautious and everything, you want to keep your 6 feet worth of distance and keep your hands clean and sanitized, you can pick up your favorite social media app of choice and send a well-crafted DM telling them thank you for recommending you to me. Speaking of social media, you can find the Random Rambles with Rob on various social media platforms to include Twitter at 3R Show, Instagram at The 3R Show. Twitch, I ain't been on there in weeks because my power been out and I just been entrenched in video games in general and I just forget to turn the recorder on. But twitch.tv/3R Show. They got YouTube content. Search for 3R Show on YouTube. And for anything that I may have forgotten to mention, you can go to randomrob.com. Yeah, got all that shit out the way. Now, joining me is the illustrious, the magnificent, the fantastic, the fantastical of fantasticalness. I just made all that up. One, Mike, ever so suave, Davenport. How are you, sir?
I am doing excellent. Back down here in the cave again, of course, trying to get things done.
Down in the jungle. Man, it's weird because like you talk about being there in Germany and it's a crisp, cool 50 degrees and everything. And here I am in Houston, Texas, to where it went to 30, which sounds awkward saying that I'm using 30 in Texas.
Right.
And all hell broke loose, man. I hadn't been in my studio for 6 days because we ain't had no power, no water, no heat, none of that shit.
Yeah, the Germans over here were just they were just astounded, dude.
They was out there in flip-flops and short sets and shit.
Right. they were, I mean everyone knows about what's going on in Texas, man. Everybody's heart's going out to you guys, man. It's like, oh my God, I can't believe that's like hell freezing over. It just don't happen.
Yeah, I know. And a lot of the problem is this part of the United States is not really typically known for this type of weather. So that being said, they don't take the precaution to safeguard themselves for when this rare occurrence happens.
Man, like I said, man, that's crazy. That is crazy. But I'm glad to see my brothers up and running again.
Yeah.
Nice to know.
But speaking of up and running, we got to up and run our mouths about some things and everything. I reached out to you a little while ago just to have you back on because I'm not getting my Marvel and my other media fixes with all these other interviews and everything. I try to creep it in there with some of them. I'm be like, hey man, what you watching? Are you watching this and that? And they be like, oh no, I don't watch that. They'll be like, son of a bitch. So I had to get.
I'm watching all of it.
Yes,
all of it.
Rub it all over my skin.
I gotta take it all in, all the MCU stuff that's going down. That's just freaking crazy. The Wandavision stuff. Yeah. I mean, I got that's at the top of the list right now.
Word. So I mean, let's even get into that. Spoilers, I guess, because we're gonna talk about the shit.
Oh yes.
So here we are at I don't know how many minutes we in, but we just passed the intro. So we're gonna be talking about spoilers for WandaVision. So if you haven't caught up, catch up and come back. So, or we'll let you know, I guess, whenever we pass it or whatever, and then you can bookmark it and come back. So I don't know. I don't know how this shit works. We haven't even put the episode out yet. Anyway, what are you enjoying overall about WandaVision so far?
I'm going to tell everybody.
Tell everybody.
In the beginning, I was with everybody. I said, this is the weirdest thing that they're doing right now with these short 20-minute, and it felt like 20-minute episodes.
Yeah.
I was like, really? I mean, at first, and the whole process of it being like in these weird sitcoms, completely. I was like, well, and I have people calling me and asking me because I'm a lot of people's local Marvel reference. So everybody's like, Mike, what's up with these episodes? What is this? What is this? And I had to say, hey, listen, okay, the way WandaVision is set up, and I had to do a lot of research. WandaVision is set up so that if you watched Age of Ultron and started watching MCU movies from there, this picks up on there. You're going to have to watch for all the little subtleties to get it. And I would say by the third episode, all the calls stopped. Everybody was on board. Everybody was like, oh, I get it now. Yeah. This is a situation where Wanda is dealing with some real stuff.
Yeah, it's like almost a PTSD type situation.
Exactly. And when I told people, hey, pay attention to how her behavior is. This is not a sitcom. This ain't even a comedy. Yeah. This is, you are watching somebody's mind fall apart in real time. And then when they started looking at it like that, I was like, man, this is a tragedy. Exactly. Don't let the laugh tracks fool you. And by episode 3, everybody saw it. I said, man, this is deep.
Yeah.
This the surface level of it was all jokes, but man, right under the surface, there's some darkness. And man, after episode 3 on, it was plain to see. But man, I tell you, I told one person, I said, I have never seen so many subtle hints put into a single episode. I mean, there's all kinds of little Easter eggs everywhere in these shows, everywhere. And even me, I have to go back and I look and say, man, what did I miss? Oh yeah, the last episode that just came out, the Nexus thing, the little Nexus tablets. I'm like, God, how did I miss that? Nexus of all realities.
See, and that's the thing for me, because like I'm not well versed in the source material. I know a bulk of what I know because of the cinematic universe. So when I saw the Nexus stuff and some of the other little ads that they put in sprinkled throughout the other episodes, I knew they had some sort of significance, but I didn't know what the direct correlation was.
Okay, I will give it to you. I'll lay it out for you. There are two places in all of the Marvel universe that you can go if you want to completely break everything.
And sometimes they know your name too.
Exactly. 2 places you can go. The swamps of Florida. I know that's a weird one. Okay, but yes.
But I mean, that's real life shit.
Yeah, the swamps of Florida, where the Man-Thing resides. The swamps of Florida. He exists to defend the Nexus of all realities. That's one place. The second place is the M'Kraan crystal in the Shi'ar Empire. Now everybody knows it. Everybody knows about that because that's where the Phoenix Force comes from. Yes, 2 places. Now when they threw up that Nexus thing in the last episode, I was like, oh shit, that makes sense. So basically, everything is in flux. All of the different realities are in flux, and that's why that's there. I was like, I couldn't believe I missed it.
Yeah, and then that was like a mind-blowing thing. You talk about just the realities being in influx and all kind of things or whatever. They took another property, a character from another property, and putting them into this cinematic universe. So they took the Fox's freaking Quicksilver, and they put him into the MCU universe. And I thought that was fucking amazing.
Brilliant. Freaking brilliant.
Because if they're not gonna use that character, as is throughout the whole run of the rest of the series, this is the exact place that you would do something like that because reality is warped and everything is not what it seems.
Here's the deal. Here's what was the deal. Here's how everyone back in the day, everyone was talking about how is Fox using Quicksilver in the X-Men movies and the MCU using Quicksilver in Age of Ultron.
Yeah, because they can't reference certain things in
exactly.
In their respective universes at the time. So
But
they can have they can have Quicksilver over there and they can have Quicksilver over here. But the Quicksilver over here on the MCU side at the time couldn't reference Magneto and all the other characters. All of that. But the ones on this side could, but they couldn't reference the shit over there.
Exactly. And the deal was that the MCU Quicksilver had to die. Now this was all before the mouse went on ahead before the mouse went on ahead and absorbed everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was the deal back then.
Before Mickey got the Infinity Gauntlet.
Before Minnie got the Infinity Gauntlet, exactly. So that was the deal. The MCU Quicksilver, he had to die.
Mm-hmm.
So there wouldn't be any continuing confusion about the characters.
Mm-hmm.
And that was them assuming that Fox was going to be using Quicksilver
forever.
Well, forever, yeah. Exactly. So yeah, that was absolutely brilliant.
But even to get like into that whole aspect of the thing, I mean, I know vaguely of the details between Marvel proper, Fox, Sony, and everything like that. But was there another studio involved with that whole licensing thing as well?
There are several. There are several studios involved. There are several studios involved. It's not just Quicksilver and Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. For the longest time, I believe it was Universal Studios or Paramount. That still owned Namor and She-Hulk until Marvel recently got those two back.
Yeah.
And the Incredible Hulk. The reason why everyone's complaining the Hulk deserved his own movie. He can't have his own movie because they don't own the rights to make a movie for that character. That's why it's only a supporting character. And they still don't, if I'm not mistaken, they still don't own the rights.
Yeah, because the Hulk is a big part of Universal's thing and their theme park.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. The Hulk is a huge part of Universal Studios theme park. Exactly. They still own the rights to him. So they don't mind loaning him out to be a supporting character in the MCU, but that's it.
Yeah. It's like, I mean, we making money with him here. We don't plan on making no movies, but I mean, here you can borrow him for the weekend. Make sure you bring him
exactly.
back.
And he's gonna come back. He's gonna stick his head in the window too for She-Hulk.
Mm-hmm.
So he's gonna have a step on role. Hey, how you doing? Set up her character, and then he's gonna be out again.
Yeah. See, I like that a lot, especially like just the instance that we're speaking about with the Quicksilver thing, how they're doing like this episodic TV series and they have like that's a main character popping up in the TV series. And just the fact that they're doing a episodic series with these other two characters, Vision and Wanda, I mean, that's crazy too. Because other than those two, everybody else surrounding them are supporting characters for the most part.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And this show walks right. This show leads directly into Doctor Strange Part 2.
Yeah. Multiverse of Madness.
The Multiverse of Madness walks right into it. So that's why my theory is, up until the last episode, I had assumed that the main antagonist for that movie, Nightmare, was going to be playing a role in the show. I thought he was the one pulling the strings. And I'm still kind of saying, well, we know who it actually is. The third party actually is, Agatha, but
yeah.
I still feel like there's still something bigger going on.
Maybe. Do we know what's the number count for the episodes? Is it going to 10?
It's 9 episodes.
Oh, 9. So there's 2 more left.
2 more left. That's right. They gotta wrap it up in 2.
Yeah, because right after this, so that put us in March, and that's Falcon and Winter Soldier coming up. Right?
Yeah, and that is on purpose. That is on purpose. Disney Plus needs that constant flow of content.
Of course.
So you're gonna get WandaVision ending, Winter Soldier Falcon and the Winter Soldier picking up, and then I think whatever comes after that. I think
Black Widow, right?
Man, brother, I don't even know.
We don't even know.
I don't know. No, well, I don't even know. I mean, smart money is on them freaking releasing it on D+.
Yeah.
Smart money, but
They still
for some
holding
reason,
out for movie shit.
they're still holding out. Meantime, freaking HBO Max
yeah,
is releasing everything at the same time.
They're like, fuck it. Because I mean, what's the point, man? Because I mean, times are actually uncertain, and you might as well make as much money as you can now.
And I've been on the fence about D+. I said D+ would have been good if they had all of this content lined up before they released.
Mm-hmm.
A bunch of great shows slotted, but they should have had a lot of these shows should have been ready when they launched.
Yeah. Well, the big thing about Disney Plus, I mean, is just the vault shit alone sustained it for the bulk of its time before it started actually pumping out and producing content. And then we all know, world as is, currently threw a monkey wrench into a lot of shit. So
that's true.
It might have been more fleshed out and polished if this had not happened. But who's to say?
Who is to say?
Mm-hmm.
And it's people being sustained on Mandalorian, man.
Oh yeah. And that's crazy. Let's think about it. I mean, we are as we are right now because of certain events in history, which I'm tired of being a part of. How would this content flow have been had this not happened? Because the Mandalorian would have been long gone and done. Black Widow would have been came out already.
Yep.
And shit, where would we be sitting right now?
Honestly, I think D+ would have been in a lot more competitive position if it weren't for the pandemic.
Mm.
I think HBO Max adjusted fire.
Oh yeah, they did.
quicker.
Because right now, with my internet provider, they threw in HBO Max for free.
Yeah,
I'm just like, whoa, okay, thank you.
Yeah. I mean, it's a no-brainer when these movies start coming out on HBO Max on a regular basis. They're gonna eat a huge chunk of viewership, a huge chunk.
Mm-hmm. And now, what are your thoughts and opinions on the way we consume social media moving forward? I mean, when everything is semi-normal again, whenever we can go out to theaters and do things like that. Because I mean, I'm spoiled. I would rather stay in my house and watch a blockbuster feature film on my couch or laying in my bed eating chips and shit rather than getting dressed, making time for it, going late after I get off of work from a 12-hour day. Daggone. You might have a little drink or two in the theater, then I have to worry about being cautious going home.
Yeah.
So I'd rather stay home and watch the goddamn movie.
Movie theaters are going to have to have a come to Jesus meeting.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to have a cold, hard look at their business model.
Especially AMC. And Regal.
Yes.
It's like, fuck y'all want to show movies at home? Fuck you, man.
They can't. I mean, a lot of industries realized had to adjust fire because of the pandemic, and the movie theaters, they got hit hardest.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, their whole thing is people crammed into these huge rooms, side by side watching movies. You can't do that anymore. Their whole business plan is out the window.
Yeah, and then I mean, they were already going down anyway, because I mean, you can't, a regular movie theater isn't even a regular movie theater anymore. It's just, you don't go there solely to eat popcorn and watch a movie. I mean, they got fucking a full-on bar in there. They got freaking, what was that, concierge service.
Concierge service,
They come to your feet and bring you things, they rub your feet and kiss your ass.
Right. Right. I mean, and then all of that is because the industry is on the downslope, and they knew it before the pandemic. Yeah. People are not spending freaking 16, 18, 20 bucks to go see a movie, and buy all their overpriced freaking concession food. Mm-hmm. No one's doing it anymore. They don't have to. Yeah, I can wait a month for a new release to come out on a
Blu-ray
streaming
or
service or
streaming, yeah.
Blu-ray. Yeah. Why bother? Why bother getting the kids in the car, hauling everybody out there, everybody fussing over what they want to see, buying expensive freaking food at the stands, sitting in a crowded movie theater with a bunch of people that you don't know and don't like.
Yeah.
And the experience, I mean, I like the experience of movies. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong. I back
Oh,
them a
yeah.
lot, but everyone likes the experience of the huge screen and seeing a new release. But it just I think that a lot of people have seen seeing how convenient it can be.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Then I got a taste, baby, and that's all it is.
exactly.
That's all you
That's
need
all
to
it
get
is.
you hooked.
Yeah, that's it. They got a taste of it. It's like I can do all of that at home. I can set up the entire experience in my house now.
Yeah.
So movies have to be more than just showing up and eating cheap, overpriced food and watching the movie on the giant screen.
Yeah.
It's got to be an event, and they were trying to make it an event before then because they knew that already.
Yeah, and I kind of feel like it's gonna go the way of how a lot of these celebrities been doing our independent celebrities been doing the freaking the special engagement nights and shit.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
when Rob Zombie and them, they did Three from Hell and the Halloween movie. He was going from theater to theater touring his movie. You
Yeah.
know? So there's gonna have to be a lot of more experiences like that to where you can have like somebody like a Kevin Smith or one
Yep.
of the main characters from the movie that you're going to see to come in and
Mhm.
cue it up and do like a Q&A or some shit.
Yeah.
Of course,
It
you got
has
to
to be an
spend
event.
more, but you know,
Yeah.
it'll make it worth the experience and shit.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
Yeah.
I tell you what this is going to lead to. If tomorrow, boom, everybody vaccinated or some kind of way this shit just goes away and everything goes back to normal or a semi-normal, if we can go out to theaters and do everything, HBO and all the other streaming platforms pull away they freaking in theater release stuff and they're just a basic plain streaming service like they were prior to all this. Freaking piracy is about to go back up on the rise.
Oh yes.
Oh
yes.
Because this is what it is when you give them that taste and then you take it
Mhm.
away, they're
Yep.
gonna do what they got to do to get that
To
taste
get that.
back.
Get that taste back. Yep.
Get that feeling,
Piracy will
baby.
go up.
Yep.
Piracy will go up for sure. And they won't, and it's never going to be the same again. They're never going to get the numbers. They're never going to have the numbers again that they had before. Never.
Mhm.
That ship has sailed. And I feel for them. I feel for all the people that work in the industry, but you know, the times have officially changed. And you know, the pandemic has made a lot of things different for people. I don't think a lot of industries are not going to go back to the way they were before. I don't expect to go back to work full time in an office. I expect most of my job to be, you know, working from home, even after the pandemic and everybody's got their vaccination shots.
Yeah. That's crazy.
It's crazy.
And I know like even my job, I freaking I deal with the public. I am security. So the way it's worked for us, instead of us letting 30,000 motherfuckers, I mean, I'm exaggerating the numbers. Instead of us letting 30,000 motherfuckers come in there for their appointments, we only letting the motherfucker with the appointment come in, you know, or the ones that like, so I work at ICE security. So people come in to report. Instead of them coming to report and bringing 30 motherfuckers with them for that one person to report for whatever reason they do that for, there's just a phone number on the door. They can take it down and they can report from their house on the couch. They don't even have to come up here no more. So that's less crowd we have to deal with and nobody come in the building. So, you know, you decrease contamination. And people that have to pay immigration bonds or whatever, only the person paying the bond with a proper identification can come in and take care of it. You don't have to have 30 motherfuckers and one to translate and this guy to hold the bag and this one to stand around and hold the cell phone. Nah, you don't need that shit. You just need the one motherfucker to come in to do the job and get the fuck out.
Yeah.
And I rather enjoy that because before then, it was one motherfucker there to report and they bring the kid, they bring the kid's friend, they bring the friend to watch the kid and the kid's friend, and then they have the husband and the baby daddy, and they all come together for one person to report. And I'm like, why?
Why?
You gonna need to
Exactly.
And then that's making more work for me because I got to screen all these motherfuckers.
No, order order is the name of the game now.
Mhm.
Order is the name of the game. Yeah.
Speaking of order, you talk about your experience all the way up to episode 3, how everything it pretty much was cut and dry what this is and how this was going to be. For me, from my experience of it, from episode 1, I was just like, this is fucking great. I love every bit of this because I knew this wasn't what it seemed. And another thing that I kind of enjoyed was everybody was bitching about it. And I was just like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Watch.
You just don't know. Yeah. You just don't know.
Because we've had 23 other movies to perceive this previous to this. And they never left so much of everything, just, shrouded. You figured out what the fuck was going on eventually. And it was just patience. You just had to wait. Whether it been, bits and nuggets from posting in credit scenes or you got everything you needed. You can go through a whole goddamn movie, not really understand so much of it, or just like, oh, I wonder about this. Then you can post an in credit scene and you're like, oh, now I understand.
Boom. Now you understand. Now you know how it all ties together.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't understand why people thought this was going to be any different. And I kind of prefer this format because they can tell more story through series than they could in one movie for the most part.
Right. And that's why I feel this is like a serialized movie.
Yeah.
Over a period of time, which is good because you're right, because they can dig into each piece of it more deeply in this format and tell more story. Because at the end, I mean, granted, they only have 2 more episodes to wrap this up, but we have, I mean, this is probably one of the best MCU. If this was a single movie, this probably be one of the best MCU movies that they've made.
And it's crazy because it's like, since we know it ends at 9, well, I just found out today. I didn't know where it was going to stop. It's just like, wham, bam, they hit you with the shit or whatever. Because like the first 2 episodes were plotting.
Yeah.
Third one is like, all right. We got a couple more episodes left. Ha! Here it is.
Yep.
It's not what it seems.
Yep. And I had a feeling, man. I had a feeling that these last 3 episodes are going to be freaking insane. They had to be because they don't have enough time to be subtle anymore.
Because I mean, we speak of episode 7, this last one, when they revealed who the true villain is for the moment. They recapped and went through all the episodes leading up to that moment. It was like, it was her here. It was her here.
That's right.
So they never left you totally in the dark. They
nope.
All has been revealed so far.
Yep. So everyone is caught up. Everyone knows that it's Agatha. It's been Agatha all along. It's been Agatha all along. And her real name isn't Agnes. It's Agatha. Which is so subtle. A lot of people I've noticed online haven't even caught it. That the name change is Agatha Harkness. Now, of course, once they did that reveal, everybody and the mother was online trying to look up who the hell this character is.
I did, but
I know you did.
This is all I did though. I typed it in, it popped up, it said witch, and I just closed it out. I didn't read nothing else. I swear to God, I seen a picture, a comic book iteration, drawing of the character. It said witch. I was like, exit. All right, that's all I need to know.
Well, she is far removed from her comic book counterpart. Her comic book counterpart has been on both sides of the spectrum. She has been an antagonist, and she's also been a help. Yeah, especially to Wanda.
That's how it is. It's just like you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Yes,
and vice versa.
And again, a lot of people say she's a villain. I called her a villain. I called her a villain because based on the information from the last episode. Yeah. Come on, man. She killed the dog.
Yeah. And I killed the dog too.
She killed the dog. So I have to call her a villain. Now, whether or not she is the one pulling all of the strings or there is someone behind her.
Yeah, there's always puppets in the MCU.
Exactly. Always puppets in the MCU. Someone's always pulling the string. It wasn't Loki, it was Thanos.
Yeah.
So that remains to be seen. But I wouldn't be mad either way. Honestly, I think she'd make a great villain.
Word. And then, you know, now that we know what we know, it's just the intention behind the thing, as you were alluding to. I mean, is it somebody above her, or is it her in it for her own selfish gains? And what are these selfish gains, if any?
Exactly. We know the who, the what, the when, the where. All we need to know is the why.
Yeah.
And that's still out there.
Yeah. From what I ascertained from the situation is, you know, she using her as a conduit. You know, she's just using her powers to amplify, megafy whatever she got going on.
Yep. And what is her background in the MCU? Where did she come from? That's I'm sure everyone and their mother's trying to figure out where did Agnes come from? Because we know in Doctor Strange already said that there are a bunch of wizards in the world.
Yeah.
So she could be one of them. She from another dimension. Is this whole Nexus thing playing a role in it? Does she come from another? You know, we don't know.
And it's crazy to think of all these different things. What I've enjoyed as you know, being a guy that's only versed in the MCU for the most part, anyway. How they take these characters that, you know, a lot of people like me don't even know who the fuck they are, and just make them this whole other thing that's just entangled in the story. And I rather enjoy that. Other people be like, "Oh man, they should have had this motherfucker.
Yeah,
they should have did this."
Yeah.
And I'll be like, "But maybe that doesn't fit the story that they're telling." I believe Kevin Feige is doing a phenomenal job, and his staff and everything.
Yeah. I'm beginning. You know, the MCU from the beginning was part of the appeal of it for non-comic book fans. Was there? It's a free pass to get into the world of comic books. You know, you get enough information to be you know, literate in, you know, basic comic book. You know, you can talk about the MCU, and then there's enough still left out that you can ask questions. So that brings the non-comic book fans and the comic book fans together to have these discussions. Yeah,
because we still, like, from the 23 films previous.
Oh yeah,
it's just damn. What's up with what's your dude name? I forget his name. Had to do in Guardians of the Galaxy 2, I believe. In the
Ego
gold
the planet.
No.
Adam Warlock.
Yeah, Adam Warlock. There you go, motherfucking the gold coffin. What happened to him? Where the hell?
Whatever happened to Adam Warlock? You know what? I'm gonna tell you something. I believe that they had a plan for Adam Warlock, and the plan changed.
Yeah.
I believe they had a plan for him, and the plan changed. So that is one of those. That's one of those outstanding those hanging plot points that may never get resolved, whether or not there is actually someone in that coffin or not.
Yeah.
But who knows? There's a Guardians of the Galaxy 3 coming out. They may address it.
Yeah, this is true.
But
I don't know why I keep thinking that the third one already came out. Because I'm thinking it because it's all tied into freaking Infinity War and Endgame and shit. So it's almost like how Civil War was almost another Avengers movie and shit.
Exactly, it was a little mini Avengers movie.
So yeah, I get them confused sometimes. Just so much shit.
Yes.
Yeah, it is. Oh man. So we got that. What I'm most interested in seeing from the Falcon and Winter Soldier series, this is gonna be a fucking buddy cop comedy.
It is, man. And you know, I you know, it was weird, and I know this is not possible, but it's like they saw the you know, those two characters together, and they saw the chemistry right there as they were filming Civil War.
Yeah.
And they said, we got to do something with this. They said, we've got to do something with this. And I think immediately right then and there, they knew what they were going to do. At least they had a general idea that this was going to be something they had to get them to in their own property. Had to get them in a show of their own.
And this for the fan fickers, I'm throwing this out there for y'all. It's just the craziest love triangle that you would ever see between three characters. You got Captain America with his old boo Bucky, You know,
Yep.
and then you got Captain America with his new boo, freaking Falcon. And,
Falcon.
you know, Captain America and Falcon, they together, and then, they enjoy their time together. But every now and then Captain America always talking about how his old boo used to do all kind of this and that and everything, and it leaves Falcon some kind of way. And then they all meet up together. He's like, I hate you. But we got to do what we got to do for Captain America because we both love him.
Exactly.
There you go.
Exactly. Everybody vying to be who's Cap's best friend.
There you go for your fan fickles out there. The love triangle between Bucky, Falcon, and Captain America.
It's going to be a great show, and if they have the same kind of intensity that Winter Soldier had, and I'm feeling that same kind of vibe from the previews of the show, so that it feels like it picks up right after Winter Soldier. So if they can, and Zemo's coming back, so
So what now?
Zemo, the bad guy from Civil War, the guy that wrecked the Avengers, he is back.
Word.
He is back. Yep, he is the main antagonist in the show. And and everyone was complaining that of all the villains not to kill, he's the only one that really survived.
Mm-hmm.
And like, well, what are you going to do with him? I knew what they were going to do with him. He was going to eventually come back worse than ever.
Mm-hmm. Word.
Because he is one of Captain America. He is, if I had to pick the second most dangerous villain in the Captain America rogues gallery, I would say Zemo is probably number 2, right underneath the Skull.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because the Skull is almost like his Joker character, right?
Yeah. Skull is his Joker character.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't have Cap without the Red Skull. But Zemo is definitely his number 2.
Word.
Yeah, he's a bad dude. In the comics, he doesn't have any powers. He's not like he doesn't have the super serum soldier, so he can't fight toe to toe with Cap. But he never needed to, and that's what made him an even more compelling villain.
He's like Lex Luthor, huh?
Yeah, he's like Lex Luthor. I mean, he plots. That's what he does.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to see a lot. I think you're going to see a lot of that in the new show, in the Falcon and Winter Soldier.
So one of the other things, and we just talking about this vast cinematic universe that we have and potential and all this stuff. What are your thoughts on 2 characters, the Taskmaster and freaking Moon Knight?
Taskmaster is one of my favorites. Moon Knight is probably my download favorite character in Marvel. I'm not supposed to say that because I'm supposed to love all of them, but anyway, Moon Knight is my guy, because he's of all of the characters in Marvel, he's probably the realest. He is the character that has real issues. His struggle with being a hero is probably right up there with Peter Parker's, because of his his multiple personality disorder, being aware that he has problems hanging on to reality, and still going out there putting on a mask and beating people up. I tell people he is. A lot of people compare Moon Knight to a Marvel Batman, and I say that is completely not the case.
Mm-hmm.
Moon Knight is Batman if Batman was actually crazy. Batman's not actually crazy.
Yeah.
Moon Knight is actually crazy.
Batman is just like super depressed.
Yeah, exactly.
He depressed and he go beat up people to, feel better and shit.
Yeah. Moon Knight, you may not be fighting the same dude every 2 times when you fight Moon Knight. Here, fun fact in Marvel, Taskmaster, who can copy the fighting styles of anyone he sees, says he will not copy Moon Knight's fighting style. Because Moon Knight actually just lets himself get the shit kicked out of him. Moon Knight actually takes a punch to get his opponent in range. Moon Knight, his whole thing is he's like Rocky Balboa. He'll take punches for the first 3 rounds and then kick your ass in the 4th. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
That's Moon Knight's thing. Yeah, Moon Knight is he likes to get in the scraps. His thing was like, and he was once asked why the all white costume. Moon Knight said, because I want them to see me coming.
Oh shit.
He's a beast. He's I mean, for a guy that and there's a thing going on right now whether or not Moon Knight's powers are actually real or in his head.
Mm-hmm. And that's compelling in itself. It's like
that's compelling in itself, right? Because his powers are, and I quote, based upon the phases of the moon, his strength increases based upon the phases of the moon.
Mm-hmm.
So at a complete full moon, he's supposed to be able to lift like 2 tons, which is crazy if that's all in his head.
Yeah. And I mean, based on, the information that you give me about the character, I mean, he may not know his potential because he's never him completely all the time.
Right. There's 3 personalities always. There's 3 personalities always jockeying for dominance in him, and some say the Moon Knight is the 4th.
Okay.
But yeah, a lot of people even say that his connection to Khonshu, the Egyptian moon god, is all made up in his head. That everything that happened and him putting on the costume, his whole origin story was just some shit that he's
just a crazy motherfucker.
Exactly. But the dude has a reputation. I mean, he was an Avenger for a while. He was with the Avengers West Coast for a while. Yeah, he's got cred. I mean, he's still got the Avengers badge, man. Granted, not many people like working with him, but he's got the cred. I mean, when you say Moon Knight, you know that he can handle business.
So what do you think about their pick for the character?
Oscar Isaac. I want to see. I like Oscar Isaac. I think he's a fantastic actor.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if he has the chops for an action movie. That's what I wonder.
And this is another thing. This is going to roll right into my next thing that I wanted to talk about. You probably know where I'm going to go once you hear me say some of the words. How do you feel about, some of these guys to play these characters that don't have a background in either, some kind of form of martial arts or self-defense?
Here's the thing. I don't have a problem with it as long as they are committed to learning for the role.
Mm-hmm.
And I know where you're going with this. My man, Iron Fist, I know it. Iron Fist, the character itself was not bad. Finn Jones and the producers of that show simply agreed wrongly to limit to choreograph too much of his fighting scenes, to not have the expectation of him being up to the physical requirements of a Marvel production. When you look at everybody in the Marvel, all the lead characters in the Marvel production, first thing when they get that role, first thing they do, they hit the freaking gym. Yeah. My God, look at freaking Chris Evans.
Yeah.
Hell, even RDJ went and hit the gym. The first thing, and my man from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Everybody, Chris Pratt, everybody hits the gym. And Finn Jones simply, for whatever reason, the producer of the show and Finn Jones decided, we're not really going to teach you. You're not really going to get in depth in the martial arts of it. We want you for your acting skills, which honestly, he wasn't a lead in Game of Thrones. Why do we expect him to carry this whole show by himself?
Yeah. And, it's just, I don't even know where I want to go with that whole thing about Iron Fist, but I didn't think it was so bad, but I know it could have been way better.
Way better. Here's the thing, and I agree with a lot of people that have been telling me that. I mean, you could have tolerated all of the Meacham story background if the fight scenes were on point.
Yeah. And then
they just
and
weren't.
We thoroughly discussed, the last time we talked, and even
Yeah.
now, that I'm not versed in the freaking source material for every single freaking character. But I even know, as a
Yes.
novice, just like somebody from the outside, that Iron Fist is a fucking martial arts based character. That motherfucker, all he
Yes.
do is fight. And I was just like,
This-
oh,
Yep. This thing should have been, when you watch this, you should have been this thing should have been like a 70s kung fu flick. There should have been wire work all over the place. They should have been flipping and kicking and wall walking and all kinds of crazy shit.
Mhm.
All of that old Japanese, Toho theater stuff that they used to do. That should have been, all of that should have been in that show, because he is not just a martial arts expert. He is a master from a land where where martial arts came from.
Yeah.
He is supposed to be a badass from the land of badasses.
Yeah. And another thing about, the characters who portray the actors that portray characters with, these skill sets in martial arts and other stuff and whatnot. It helps when those characters have a mask, because you can easily mask. I'm doing air quotes.
Yes.
Yes. Their inability to do things with a stunt man, some CG and things like that. So, I mean, a lot of the ones you can give a pass on, but the ones with their face open and shit.
Yeah.
And
they
which
really
brings me to another one.
Hit me.
Motherfucking Blade.
Whew.
That's coming up. And the actor that's going to be portraying him, I've heard, is like one of the best ever in shit.
Marshall Ali, yeah.
Yeah. And I've only seen a limited amount of his work. I know he was Cottonmouth in the Luke Cage series, right?
Yeah, yes.
Which I didn't see the first season of Luke Cage. So
man.
I was not familiar with the character. I just knew he was there. I've only seen him in Elite the freaking Battle Angel, and he had a limited role in that shit. But I've heard good things as far as what's that other movie he did?
He did second season, I think second season of True Crimes. He was in that.
Yeah, I missed that. I seen the first season with Woody Harrelson and the other guy. So I missed that. Then he was in that movie Moonlight or some shit like that.
Yeah, but
I heard was good, which I never seen it. So I mean,
I'm missing out
chops. I'm missing out on the Marshall Ali train. But when they picked him to be Blade, and I heard that he campaigned for that role using his his recent award win to leverage that, I was like, this might be garbage. He's killing my favorite character. Blade was the first for me. He's the one that gave me the Marvel taste.
I know. He was the first for a lot of people.
And then, to know that Wesley Snipes actually had the martial arts background and he was doing most of his own shit, I fucking loved it.
Yep.
Demolition Man.
Yep. Demolition Man.
God damn it.
Yep. He definitely had, but he had his Wesley had acting chops from way back in
yeah, that old school
acting. He had that old
Sugar
school
Hill.
acting. Yeah.
New Jack City.
Passenger
57.
Yep. He had acting chops, and him being a martial artist didn't hurt either. I'm upset that my man Michael Jai White missed his opportunity, because he should have stepped right in after Wesley stopped doing it. That's my opinion. Michael Jai White should have picked up Blade right after that.
Now, this is where I disagree. Now, I'm not totally disagreeing with you, because it makes sense. It could work. I believe he has the gravitas for the character. Just, his voice alone could carry, but it would remind me too much of Spawn for whatever reason.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then, there's two voices in my head when you hear Spawn, and that's one of Michael Jai White and Cat from the animated series on HBO.
Yeah.
I forget his name, but we all know he is. Frankie Beans from freaking Something About Mary. But to me, I thoroughly enjoy when they cast people that are unknown or not, famously known in certain characters. And I've been campaigning for so many years. Way before this was announced that he was going to be the new Blade. I think I've been campaigning for this since, matter of fact, I have IMDb up right now. And I'll tell you when I came to this inclination. So Blade 3 came out in, let's see, where is it? Blade Trinity came out in 2004. All right. Wrong. It's the name of the movie. Wrong Side of Town. This movie came out in 2010. So for at least since 2010, maybe 2011, I've been campaigning for this one guy to play and take up the mantle of Blade. This man's name is Maurice Crump. So ever since I seen this guy in this B flick with Dave Bautista in RVD, Rob Van Dam, and Ja Rule for whatever reason, I wanted this guy to be the Blade. He was in The Protector 2 with Tony Jaa.
Right.
And he was just recently in this Nicolas Cage flick called Jiu-Jitsu movie. Yeah. And to have your tie-in with Michael Jai White, he just starred in Sudden Death with Michael Jai White.
Yeah, I know.
So Maurice Crump.
I tried Maurice Crump.
That guy is my candidate to be Blade. One, because if you see his style, the way he fights, it is indicative to that of what Wesley Snipes gave me as the Blade character. And I can see it being that of the style that Blade uses when he fights. He has the attitude, he has the swagger that Blade possesses. And I'm just like, that dude is it. Nobody else in my mind come closer than this guy. I don't give a fuck about acting chops and paralysis and all this shit. I want the fighting. That's all I want. Because Blade don't have to say much. All the sub characters can do all the talking and the other shit. We seen that in Blade 1 and 2. Old girl and Whistler did all the work. He just went around yapping motherfuckers up. Said a couple quick witty lines, and that's all we needed. He was there to fight and kill motherfuckers. That's all I needed.
Yeah.
And
You're not the only one. Apparently, I'm looking online too. Apparently, you're not the only one that was politicking for my man to be Blade.
Dude, go to his Instagram. He did a whole series of his fight choreography catered to the Blade style. He was killing metaphorical and fictional vampires on his Instagram. It was just like they had the freaking the spark and ash effects on all the kills too.
Wow.
He was campaigning for the shit. He should.
Yeah, clearly.
Blade.
Clearly.
But hey, man, this dude just won an Academy Award or whatever the fuck award that he won, and then he was just a hey player. What's happening?
I bet I know who they go to train him though.
Maurice motherfucking Crump, the same guy that trained Chadwick Boseman in Black Panther.
Yeah, I bet they. Yep, Chadwick. They did. I see pictures of him training Chadwick Boseman. Yeah, I bet they go to.
See, as long as he's somewhere in the vicinity, if he's putting hands on it or something, I'm fine with that. Another person,
you will see.
Yeah,
you'll see his influence.
Yeah, I would be completely fine with that. Another person that I believe should have his thumbprints and fingerprints all over this is Wesley Snipes.
Yeah, I agree. They should bring him in.
I wouldn't mind him being the villain.
Wow.
Wouldn't that be great?
That would be great.
Or it can just be like Son of Blade or some shit, Or he can be Whistler. He can be the Whistler character.
He could be the Whistler character. That would be ironically suiting.
I just want him to be involved. He's brought so much to that character, and because of the Blade films, we have some of the advances in freaking film technology that we have because of that franchise movies. That in the Matrix are two of the most technologically driven, features that drove the movie industry ever. Blade and motherfucking the Matrix.
Yep. there would not be an MCU without Blade, and that is universally agreed upon, that there would not be an MCU without Blade.
And know how we can still bring all this full circle?
Mhm.
Wesley Snipes at one time also wanted to play the Black Panther.
Yes, he did. Yes, he politicked hard for that. I remember that. I remember he was talking, hey, listen, I mean, that was, when was that? Like, man, like right after Blade 2, he was really hitting it hard about wanting to bring Black Panther to the screen. He wanted to play that role.
Mm-hmm. So this is how we can tie it all off.
Yeah.
We have Mashir Ali play Blade, trained by Maurice Crump,
Mm-hmm.
and kind of tutored in some kind of way with Wesley Snipes, who wanted to be Black Panther, who was trained. Chadwick Boseman is Maurice Crump, and it's all tied together.
They're all tied together, exactly.
It
It's like Marvel says, it's all connected.
It's all just for that fact alone, it all has to work out.
Yep.
pretty pleased. Oh man.
Oh man, yeah. There's so much. The MCU is just getting started.
Mm-hmm.
It is really just getting started, and it's going to be a crazy ride.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
I am all the things. Is there anything that the novice is not seeing? Is there anything out there that you've been picking up on that not so many other people have been picking on as far as this the WandaVision stuff? Because you already brought up the Nexus stuff. Is there anything else?
I think some of the things that we see now are going to be permanent fixtures in the MCU.
Mm-hmm.
They hinted that, of course, they said that Agatha is responsible for the person that's playing Quicksilver.
Mm-hmm.
But I think when they reference the Nexus, I think my man is going to be Quicksilver permanently.
Mm-hmm.
He is crossed over.
Uh-huh.
Now, whether or not, there's a lot of rumor online about this, somewhere along the lines there being an introduction to the X-Men, or that engineer guy, or that engineer guy is Reed Richards or something. Don't believe it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't believe it.
Well, I kind of, in a way, I kind of felt like this was going to be somewhat of an introduction to mutants because of Rambo. You know, her cellular structure has been altered twice already, maybe even the third time when she went in there most recently. So that's kind of like a thing, and as long as the bubble or whatever it is keep pushing out is absorbing more people and is also rewriting all those other people's DNA as well.
And that is an angle. That is an angle. So we have to see to confirm that bubble has got to cross the globe.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, whoever's pulling the strings has got to actually win.
Yeah.
That is, if they do that, and that's the thing you have to watch. If they do that, if they're saying, okay, this is how we get mutants in the MCU,
mm-hmm.
that this whole bubble is going to start rewriting everybody, and it's possible. Again, hey, the Nexus means everything is up for grabs.
Yeah.
But I don't imagine. I mean, this could be the hint, but I don't think there's going to be any hard clues as to mutants and the X-Men or whatever, and the Fantastic Four even less so.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a whole lot of setup that needs to happen with that.
Oh yeah, it's a whole lot of shit. There's got to be some kind of space program and everything.
Oh yeah, everything. They have to. I mean, they could be going in a completely different route than previous versions of the Fantastic Four before, but
mm-hmm.
there's a whole lot more setup that has to happen. I don't think even Kevin Feige has been thinking that in-depthly about intertwining this with the X-Men or the Fantastic Four just yet. There might be slight hints, but we've got a whole lot more shows coming up that could still tie those things in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we've got like 4 shows coming up still.
Yeah, we got Moon Knight, we got Falcon,
She-Hulk. Falcon and Winter Soldier,
Miss Marvel.
Miss Marvel, exactly. So we know the Inhumans are coming back.
Mm-hmm. Oh shit,
So
man. We're not that far away either. March 19th is when
No.
Falcon and Winter Soldier starts.
No, like I said, soon as everybody comes up off of the high from WandaVision,
Yeah,
Falcon and Winter Soldier picks up.
Yeah, they giving them space to, because they got those people that how I used to be. I would have not watched this many episodes, and I would just wait till it would have concluded, then I would have went back and watched all of them, just right after each other. So they kind of accounting for those people, and then then that person got to tell somebody, and so on and so forth.
Yep, and then boom, pick it up again, and again everybody's on pins and needles for every episode. I mean, this was this whole thing that they've crafted here with these episodes. They knew exactly what they were doing.
Yeah.
They knew exactly that all the fans will be dissecting every freaking minute of each one of these episodes, and that is that's not a bug. That's a feature.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to be doing the same thing with Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah. I don't think, as far as Falcon and Winter Soldier goes, I don't think it'll be as abundant as this show is with like little teasers and all kinds of stuff like that. I think it'll have its own little thing, but this one it was just like, all right, everything is fucked up. Everything that you know is not what it is.
It is.
Then the moon is actually cheese, and it's just all kinds of crap.
Oh no, this is a. I think Falcon and Winter Soldier is going to be a straight action thriller from beginning to end. They have some teasers and some Easter eggs in there here and there, but straight action thriller.
Yeah.
Straight buddy cop action thriller kind of deal. A little bit of James Bond, a little bit of Bourne Identity, all of that.
Mm-hmm. So, what do you think about how we are currently as consumers? We always got to know everything. We live and die by spoilers and rumors and all kind of stuff. What do you think about this culture that we live in now?
I think it puts a lot of the onus on us as consumers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what they're providing the content, and it's up to us to choose how much or how frequently we consume it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like we all know. I mean, of course, if you want to see everything, you can't see everything.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm all for it. It teaches us that if we want the suspense, then we have to be disciplined enough to not just jump online and just looking for spoilers and whatnot. It ruins it. And I think a lot more people are realizing that save a little something for later. Yeah, you can find out everything you need to know about these shows and spoil it all for yourself just to know, or you can just sit back, chill, and consume the content at a pace that you feel comfortable with.
Yeah, and I just like being surprised.
Yes, a lot of people do.
And what sucks is that a good point, good case of this. The goddamn Schneider cut. I am so tired in hearing and seeing about this shit. I mean, it was a thing before, they decided to, do all the shit that they did to remake and rewrite and add to and all this stuff. It was a thing to when this wasn't a thing. There's a Snyder cut. All right. So it was cool to speculate and, dig into it then. But now that we know that the shit is done and it's coming out, I'm tired of hearing about the shit. Just stop showing me previews, stop showing me stills, stop showing me clips, stop talking about the shit. Just drop the bitch and let me watch it. It gets on my goddamn nerves.
I hope.
How is it going to be a better movie?
I hope that it is everything all the Snyder Cut people have been hoping for. I pray that it is, because if it is not, you're going to have a whole fandom of people just losing their freaking minds. They're going to be insufferable. This movie,
they're going to do it anyway.
Yeah, of course they're going to pick it apart anyway. Of course. It's the people who, the diehards, even if the movie's trash, the diehards are going to say it's the best thing that ever happened.
Yeah.
And everyone else is going to either say, well, I told you so. It wasn't all that. I mean, the first movie wasn't all that. So why should this one be all that?
Mm-hmm.
But I hope that they have a sense of closure.
Yeah.
Because once it's done, it's done. And
Yeah.
a lot of these people online have been living and breathing this shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's no more hashtag Snyder Cut after day +1 after it comes out. That's it.
There's only going to be one hashtag possibly to come after this releases. And it's going to be cancel HBO Max. That's pretty much what HBO Max hinged upon. This whole release was centered around this goddamn Snyder Cut. We're gonna have it. It's gonna be on HBO Max, and then everybody start flocking to HBO Max and shit. Which I like HBO Max since I get it for free, because I am going back through all of Batman the Animated Series.
Yes, yes.
I'm like on episode 20 of 65 for season 1.
Dude, I went back and watched all the Justice League stuff. All of the Justice League Unlimited, Justice League Unlimited. I went back and watched all of those. That's great. I love it. Just like Disney Plus, I went back and watched all the X-Men, the old X-Men cartoons.
I haven't
all the old Spider-Man stuff. Oh man, it's great.
I'm gonna get to that eventually, but I want to finish the Batman stuff. Me and the 10-year-old, been watching that shit, and it's crazy because you see animation now.
Yes,
this shit is just like they just took a whole bunch of paint and just splashed it on some paper and put dark lines around it. All right, this is animation, to where like even not too long ago we had the Teen Titans, and then you see Teen Titans Go, which is still a good show in its own way. It's more modernized, of course.
Yeah.
It caters to the modern audience. I get that, but just the animation style to where like we went from Batman the Animated Series being comic book accurate almost to like Batman Brave and the Bold, where it's like just like kid cartoon looking. And
yes,
Teen Titans Go and all this shit. Even when they rebooted some of the old stuff like Ed, Edd and Eddie and Dexter's Laboratory, the art style was not there for me.
Not there. I mean, Batman the Animated Series was revolutionary at the time. I went back and saw some of the documentaries on how it was made, and I was amazed that the animation was done on black paper.
Yeah,
that's crazy to me. And that's how they got that whole film noir style to work so well.
And what I didn't realize then when I was actually watching it when it was on Fox and Kids and shit, and going back and watching it here 2021, is just like they made Batman fallible. Like,
yes,
I seen this motherfucker get hit with a drop toe hold from a henchman and he fell down. He's like, what? I was like, oh shit. I seen him trip over a freaking rollaway cart. He was just backing up trying to get away from somebody, and he tripped. He was fallible. He was vulnerable. He was a person in a suit.
It made it right. It made it more believable that he was struggling. It made the tension more real when he finally succeeded.
Yeah.
The odds seem more because Batman was just this dude. You realize that in the show, he made mistakes. He didn't always land perfectly on his feet every time. He wasn't this freaking master ninja, but he was a hell of a freaking detective.
And he had fits of rage when this motherfucker was strong.
Yeah, exactly.
He pick up a grown ass man and just toss his ass. I was like, okay. So you mean to tell me this motherfucker get hit with a drop toe hold from the henchman, but then you gonna turn around and pick up this bitch and throw him 20 feet? Okay, it's one or the other, buddy.
It was definitely, like I said, it was definitely a different Batman back then. And today's Batman, I don't even like talking about Batman today. I don't even entertain those versus discussions whenever Batman gets brought up. I just shake my head like, here it comes. Here it comes. Here it go. I was like, here we go. Okay, Batman can beat who? With prep time. I'm like, come on, man. Come on, just stop.
That's all it is. I mean, with prep time, he got it. Without prep time, he gonna get stumped.
Yeah. And if you look, honestly, if you look at if you go through Batman's history, you know what Batman's greatest superpower has been in a lot of cases? Luck.
Mm-hmm. Sure
Batman's
will and
great-
determination.
Yeah, Batman. Yeah, there were times where the only thing that saved his ass was dumb luck,
Mm-hmm.
where that bullet didn't hit him in the right spot to kill him, or the rope wasn't tied properly, he escaped, or
Yeah,
whatever.
He had Robin or freaking
Oh yeah,
Batgirl,
exactly.
somebody.
Girl, exactly. Just before he was about to bite it, Robin shows up. You know, dumb luck has been one of Batman's greatest superpowers.
It's a hallmark.
Yes.
That's why he's in the Justice League. These motherfuckers is like, yeah, I'm surprised he ain't dead. Put him in.
Right, exactly. How have you been doing this so long and you are still alive?
How are you not just like a meat suit full of powdered bones?
Right.
You know,
that's Batman in a nutshell. And I credit the character. The character is just, there's a reason why he's a flagship character at DC.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, his whole lore is just the definition of that genre of character. I mean, you can't say dark, brooding superhero without thinking Batman. He made that, and I give him props for that. But recently, just one, Batman's oversaturated.
Yeah.
And two, he's being oversaturated means he's infallible now. They've had to make him into this thing.
They did that since Batman Returns.
Yes.
I mean, I wouldn't even say Batman Returns because Michael Keaton, I believe his character was kind of fallible. But like, once they start getting into Forever and all this other stuff, he had the jet skates. He had he had everything.
Everything. They made him this campy character for a while. It was just beyond the realm of believability for a while. Michael Keaton's Batman, that was, honestly, I would put Michael Keaton's Batman along the same lines as the original Batman animated series Batman. He was a fallible character, but he did what he did and he did it well. But he wasn't this larger than life figure. And I think that's Batman's. If you ask me what perfect Batman was, I said that's Batman.
Because when you ask me, when you say Batman, two things trigger: the voice and the visual. The visual for me is Michael Keaton, and the voice is Kevin Conroy.
There you go.
So it's like I see Michael Keaton's Batman with Kevin Conroy's voice.
Yes. All right, they need to make that happen.
And then freaking Mark Hamill is forever the Joker to me.
Forever the Joker. Oh yeah, absolutely.
And I didn't know that was him for years. Even I would dare to say decades. I didn't know that was him.
Oh, I didn't know either. Don't feel bad. For a quick minute, I did not realize that. I definitely, while he was actively voicing the character, I had no idea.
Yeah, I did not know. So that same documentary or whatever, when I found out about the Black Paper, because I think they interviewed Mark Hamill, and he was like, he said he had to be in on this series, and he was looking through, I guess they got this thing to where they're showing things that are in production and how many episodes or whatever they're gonna put out. He's like, he's seen this shit on the sheet, and it said, I want in on this. They're doing one season with 65 episodes. I need to get in on this. And because right there from a business standpoint, you do so many episodes or whatever, that's syndication. So you get residuals for that after it reaches syndication and whatnot.
Oh yeah.
So that's smart on his part, but he's like, I had to get in on this 65 fucking episodes.
Yep.
And that blew my mind. I didn't even know it was that long. So one whole season spanned over a year.
Yep.
That's one episode a week, 52 weeks in a year. So that was a year and some change that season one ran before they decided, all right, let's do a second season. Which I think season 2 was like only 20 something episodes.
Yeah, it was short.
And season 3 was even shorter than that. Yeah. So that's fucking crazy.
And I think it's excellent of Mark Hamill that he after Star Wars, he went out there to get into these roles. And I love the fact that he stayed in the comic book genre. That was awesome. I mean, back when he was playing that one supervillain in the original Flash TV show.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was, I mean, I think that was awesome. I think that he really enjoys this fandom.
Mm-hmm.
Just like I think you can tell that he enjoyed the Star Wars fandom. I mean, and he enjoys this one too. And I think it's great that he can be known for both Luke Skywalker and the Joker.
Yeah. And Cock Knocker.
And, yeah, that guy.
Oh, shit.
Oh man. Yeah, I mean that's great. That's great. And he seems to really be in one of these type of cats that are really enthusiastic with the fans.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm always on Twitter and I see Mark Hamill pop up from time to time, and he is always just so positive about both of those roles. You never feel like when you see him post something about Star Wars or post something about his time with DC, you never feel like he's tired. He's tired of hearing about it. You always feel like he's so appreciative of the fans' response to him playing these roles. It was great.
Yeah, I think I seen a clip not too long ago to where he was one of his fans asked him if Luke Skywalker was gay, and he was like, he said this series or these characters are fictional, they're up to interpretation.
Yes.
So that's something that you can relate to, and
he's gay.
Then he's gay.
Yep, then he's gay. Exactly. And that's being in the position that I'm in with this project, that comes up a lot with me too, with the lore that we're trying to build. And I have to tell people the same thing. I say, listen, your favorite character in Marvel is however you want him or her to be more relatable to you.
Mm-hmm.
And these characters are about you. So if you fanfic in your mind that your favorite character is gay, good on you. I mean, that if that helps, if that gives you a sense of connection with the character, I am all for that.
Yep.
And Mark Hamill had it right. He said, yeah, I mean, these characters are made for you.
Mm-hmm.
And they may not, I mean, from the outside, they may not connect directly with you, but however you want to perceive these characters to make them closer to you, that's what they're there for.
Mm-hmm. And they're there for you to make fanfic so you can get it adapted into a movie franchise like 50 Shades of Grey.
There you go.
Yeah, that was fanfic based off of Twilight.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's crazy. But yeah, man, I love that. I love that, man. I love the idea. I love that when a guy like Mark Hamill can understand the needs, the connection that these characters have with the fans, and let them understand that, hey, these are for you. So however you need to ingest this characters and this lore, do what you do.
Mm-hmm.
We're here for you.
Word. Anything else on DC? Good or bad?
Nah.
Nah, fuck that. Get away from me.
No. I give DC props for the moves that they're making, and maybe not so much in the comics right now.
Yeah.
But they're making moves with the new Superman and Lois thing. I think that's going to be. I think that show is going to be a surprise hit.
Mm-hmm. And I know the guy that's playing Superman was from Teen Wolf on MTV, right?
Really? I did not know that.
Yeah, that's what I knew him from. I was just like, hey, that's that guy. Because my wife loved him. She think he dreamed.
I think the biggest thing, and I know I'm going to get a lot of flack for saying this, but I think the biggest thing about the DC shows moving forward is they get away from that teen angsty vibe that they were giving off from the CW.
Yeah. But that's where most of their business came from, man.
I know. I get that. But if you look at like Supergirl just before the last season, for the last season, they were moving away from that too.
Mm-hmm. And you should, as the characters develop.
As the characters develop, exactly.
If they start as a teen, they should not stay a teen.
Yeah, yes. And I think the shows move. I think they'll do themselves a service by, maturing the roles and the properties that they put out next. I've only heard good things about some of the shows that are coming out now. I mean, I unfortunately get a chance. I fell off the wagon with Black Lightning. I thought that show was really great. But
I've only seen one scene of that show.
Yeah, I watched the first season of it.
It was the scene to where he confronted his daughter's boyfriend or something. Mm-hmm. He's like, "How do you wash your feet?" He's like, "Do you go from your head to your feet, or do you wash your feet then you wash your body?" And then he was like, "I wash my feet, then I wash my." He's like, "So my daughter is talking to a motherfucker that clean his feet before he clean his body." I was like, "God damn, I didn't think of it that way."
Right?
Because you're gonna rub your nasty ass feet shit all over your body.
Right?
Oh man, you ain't say motherfucker. That's just how I talk.
Yeah.
But another thing that I seen from that, because I don't watch so much of the TV series or whatever, because one, a lot of them are too far long for me to go back, and they're still going on. I like to catch shit when they off the air.
Yeah,
it's like they stopped making them, so I'm gonna go back and watch all of them now, and I ain't gotta
consume
wait.
It all. Right.
So like I seen a little bit of the Doom Patrol, and
I love Doom Patrol,
and I thought it was interesting. It didn't hook me enough to keep me there to watch it, but I might revisit it. But
I read and I understand exactly why, it didn't hold you. But I promise you, you have to. Here's my recommendation for watching Doom Patrol. Accept the weird.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm fine with the weird. I love the weird shit. Because the episode I dropped in on, the one full episode that I saw was the one guy, he the gay one.
Yes.
Yeah, that's when
the one in the bandages.
Yeah, the invisible guy. Yeah. His whole episode, his whole character arc or whatever, where they went to his past and they showed his whole relationship with the guy, and he met him and he died. I thought that was a damn good episode.
Right, and they're all when you start out watching this show starts out like with a whole lot of what the fuck's going on. I mean, you're looking at this as like, what the fuck is going on, and you don't understand.
Yeah,
right. You don't understand how it ties together until the end, and then it starts to make sense. And you watch another one, and you it's right back at the beginning. There's some whole oh shit stuff going on. You're thinking, what the fuck is this again? You're feeling confused, and then they wrap it up again, and somehow it all makes sense.
So this is my akin to this, just based on your description and what the bits that I saw. This reminds me of Umbrella Academy.
Yes, very good observation. This is low key Umbrella Academy. I think this is even more Umbrella Academy than Umbrella Academy.
In which this came out first. So
yeah, this is more Umbrella Academy than Umbrella Academy. So yeah, if you look at it the same way you watch Umbrella Academy, then you get it. Then it all makes sense. It's like Doom Patrol is Umbrella Academy meets the X-Men.
Mm-hmm. I get it.
So that's how I interpret the show. And by the time I finished the second season, I was like, yeah, I'm in on this. I can watch this.
Yeah, I'll go back.
Because
that one episode that I saw that put me on to the Frank Ocean song that they was playing.
Oh yes, I do. I had to download that too. Right?
I did. I Shazam my phone as soon as I heard it. I was like, which that dude is making bank, because that's not the only show movie that I heard that song in. They had it in Doom Patrol. They had it in that docuseries When They See Us. They had it in that. They had it in I just finished watching this shit, but they played like a classical version of it, like with instruments and strings and shit. It was what fucking show was that? Because they played a lot of modern music in it, but it was like old timey bass. But it was a couple things. That song is just fuck. Westworld.
Oh, Westworld.
See, it was
really?
in Westworld. So
Really, now I gotta go back. Now I gotta go back and I gotta find out where I heard that in Westworld.
it's in the last season.
Is it in the last season?
Yeah,
Okay.
Season 3.
All right.
Yeah, so
Because I'm caught up, but I completely missed that.
because they play that song and they play the weekend song in there.
Okay.
So yeah, which Westworld? That was I just finished binging season 2 and 3.
Yes,
Mhm.
I have to say, season
3,
lot.
that shark was floating on the surface of the water and it was coming to it. They was about to hit the ramp and just jump that bitch. But I understand what they're doing. This future shit, But,
Yes.
because we in the real world per se,
Mhm.
and it's just like I don't know what I was expecting because they're in Westworld, which by all means is futuristic as fuck, with the technology
yeah.
that they used to create it. And so my mind was not processing that this comes from a world outside of this world that is probably advanced or more advanced than this world is. So when I seen all that flying car and automated shit, and I was like, what the fuck is this? This is
You still stuck on cowboy.
yeah, I'm like, where's the horses? I was like, oh yeah, we in the future. This makes sense now.
Yeah, I mean the production value is really off the charts, man. I'd say that it is. I don't know where they're going with it, but man, that season 3 was just crazy.
Yeah, they threw a lot of shit at you.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah.
And I haven't heard anything about productions on the season 4, so I don't know if it's even coming.
Yeah. I mean, given where it ended, I mean, I can see that kind of being it if it doesn't move forward.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
True, absolutely.
Spoilers! The machines win.
Yeah.
So,
man.
I yelled it before I said it, so you have time to stop.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know. So that's it. Did it give you a Terminator vibe at all?
It did. It gave me a Terminator vibe, except if the Terminators were the good guys.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I see it. If the Terminators were actually the good guys, then yeah.
Mm-hmm. This could easily been a Skynet origin story.
It could have been, exactly. It was weird at the end when they were talking about how they had mapped out everybody's freaking life.
Yeah.
And this one machine was just pointing people in the directions of their lives and shit. I was like, oh my damn.
Yeah, I mean, you do so much and you reveal so much of the world and how everything is just, everything is predetermined and all kind of crap like that. It's just like it makes it harder for you to move forward. It's like, well, everything, so
yeah. Homegirl walked in there and laid out my man's whole life in front of him. Had a freaking cafe, man.
Mm-hmm. And that's another interesting concept for shows like when we were just talking about Umbrella Academy, where they tackle time travel. It's just interesting how many takes you can have on time travel and how you execute the thing, because ultimately these time travel movies either end where they started or they change something significantly enough to where everything is fine. So Back to the Future, he went in the past, made sure shit happened the way it was supposed to happen, and he came back, everything was fine. Yep. And then freaking Umbrella Academy, they went into the past and the future and they did shit, and that was the only one that I can remember in recent history that kind of fucked it up.
Yeah. And I have no idea what the MCU is. I'm still curious as to what the timeline in the MCU looks like right now. Mm-hmm. I don't understand. I mean, Cap went back, put all the stones back where they're supposed to be,
and then he lived the whole life.
Well, what happened to
everything else,
right? Yeah. What happened to everything that happened while Cap was You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Does the world still know that Captain America existed, but now he doesn't exist? Is that what they're saying? That Cap doesn't exist anymore, but he's this old dude
Yeah.
that
No,
nobody knows is Captain America anymore?
yeah, because like you had to think that he put everything back the way that they were. Then he went to a point to where he didn't take the serum, and he still met old girl. And
Well, I thought he,
or maybe he just aged out.
yeah,
You know, he just
right. He
maybe
just
was
aged
still
out. No, he aged out with the serum. He
Yeah.
went back to after the war.
Yeah. So
Either I think
so it
either
probably
her after her adventures.
yeah, either after her adventures or a point to where he crashed in the ice and they presumed him dead and he came back. That's why nobody know he's alive.
Yeah, yeah.
So she had to keep living her life as normal, not telling nobody about
Not
him.
telling nobody about him, right? Exactly, and that's the only way that works.
Mhm.
That he he just was this anonymous dude, and maybe it was him in the picture
Yeah.
when she died. Maybe it really was him in the picture. Her talking about her husband, but she couldn't process. She was already so far gone.
Yeah.
She couldn't process that they were two different people.
Mm-hmm.
Or they were the same person, the one she was talking to on her deathbed, and her husband from back then, who was him too.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, it's so many things. There was a damn there's a sketch group. They do like sketch comedy and shit, and they did a scenario of this whole thing that we're talking about right now. And it was just like he went back, he met Peggy, and he was just telling, he's like, I mean, I've seen the future already, and we turn out all right. And she's like, so, but you can't tell me anything that's going to happen, right? He's
Right,
like,
exactly.
He's like, nope, can't tell you not a thing. And so it was coming to historical points in the skit to where she was like, I can either invest our life savings in this company called Amazon, or it was just some other shit that died out, you know, just real quick. He was like, or frugal stocks. I forget what they said or whatever. And he was just sitting there like, I trust your judgment. Because he couldn't tell her nothing because it would alter history and so on and so forth, you know. So yeah, it was shit like that. I'm about to find that skit and send it to you.
Dude, man, you should. That sounds hilarious. But yeah, man, I definitely walked away from that thinking, man, what, how does this work now? Even after the Hulk explained how time travel is supposed to work, damn.
You know, he lived a whole freaking life in a matter of a couple seconds.
Yeah. Well, from their perspective, a couple seconds, but he lived, but even then, how does that, he lived a whole life. So he saw all of this shit happening with the blinking out and everybody coming back and, I mean, the New York being invaded. He had to go back and see all of that again.
Well, yeah. I mean, at that point though, Peggy already passed.
Yeah.
So he was just sitting there single, just by himself for a long ass time.
To
get to that point.
Right. That's crazy.
I'm scrolling through my timeline, finding this shit right now. Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, and this is where, you had to start suspending your disbelief.
Yes.
Because you got to realize this is a work of fiction.
Yes.
This is the way somebody wrote this.
Yes.
And, there's going to be holes in everything.
Yes.
But don't blow it out of proportion and shit. Just
and at some point you just go, okay.
I mean,
this
it makes sense.
Yes.
It makes sense, but I'm like, what about? But that's the fun part, right?
It is. And that's, and again, I say this again, the part about analyzing every bit of this content, that's a feature. That's part of why they do it this way, so that the fans can engage in this content beyond what they just saw. That brings the whole community together to discuss it. So that builds the hype, And when the next thing comes out, everyone's ravenous for it and they want to get in there, see it, and they come back together again online and analyze every bit of it. That's part of the entire experience.
It's like sugar in your food.
It is. It is.
I sent it to you. I found it. There was another one as well about why everybody doesn't have an Iron Man suit.
Oh, I can tell you why everybody doesn't have an Iron Man suit, because it costs a few $1 billion to make one of those.
Well, shit,
things.
he made 500,000 extra ones in part 3, right?
Because he has a lot of freaking money.
So he can just make one for everybody else. Yeah, but they explain that in the skit as well. I've also sent the links to you. There you go. You got both of those, because them shits is hilarious, because they're discussing the same shit. They're acting out the shit that we're talking about right now.
Man, yeah, I definitely. It is part of the experience to jump on, watch one of these movies or watch one of these TV shows, jump online, and just discuss it, just like we're doing here.
But I mean, I'd rather us do it here, because by the time this come out, WandaVision may have concluded or be at least close to the last episode. So we wouldn't really be giving spoilers.
No, we won't. We won't.
Not really.
Agreed. Not really.
Not really. So yeah, it works out. Just for that, I'm putting it out tomorrow.
I'm gonna ruin all of y'all's. I'm gonna ruin all of y'all's week.
Yeah, but shit, man. Before we go ahead and wrap and everything, let everybody know what you got going on and where they can find you on social media.
All right. This is Mike Davenport. I am the creative director of the fan project, The Marvel Universe Online. Our website is www.themarveluniverseonline.com. We are a pitch project to design a massively open world action RPG game that we are trying to present to Marvel. But first, we want to pitch it to you, the fans. So come and check us out. We're also on Twitter, on Facebook, and of course on Instagram, and eventually on YouTube and Twitch. So come check us out. If you like what you see, come hit us up on Twitter or Facebook. Ask us all the questions in the world, because quite frankly, we have all the answers in the world. So we love to discuss the project.
And if you can stomp them with any kind of question you got, that just make the product even better.
Exactly. Come at me, bro.
Come at me, bro.
Come at me, bro. Exactly. I want all your questions. Even the hard ones. Give me the development questions. Give me the business plan questions. Give me the tough stuff. You know, the lore, the game design, the lore and the character design stuff. I got that. I got that on lock.
Word.
But give me the tough questions, because we get better through fan feedback. And that's, I'm always available. Our DMs are always open for any questions that fans may have. But we want you to feel like this project is for fans like you, because it is by fans like you.
Yeah. So with that being said, you've been a guest. I told you this last time. The door is always open for you to come back to promote your next big thing, or just to come shoot the shit like we did today, which was thoroughly entertaining and fun.
Absolutely. I am. It has been a pleasure. It really has.
We might need to do a rap party for WandaVision when it's done.
I'm all for it. I'm all for it.
Word. We might get like maybe one or two other people in here, get a whole collective thoughts on the whole thing and whatnot.
Oh, I'm gonna have so much to say about this show.
Oh yeah, I know. But this edition of the Random Rambles with Rob podcast has been brought to you by Manscaped. Manscaped, offering you precision engineered tools for your family jewels. The Manscaped engineering team has spent over 18 months perfecting their greatest ball hair trimmer ever. They obsess over their technology and developments to provide you with the best tools for your grooming experience. Try the new and improved Lawnmower 3.0. Their third generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to the advanced skin-safe technology pioneered by Manscaped. Head over to manscaped.com and get 20% off your order plus free shipping when you use promo code RANDOM.
Hello, everybody. This is Hoppy. What's up, everybody? I'm over here cooking dinner with hooks, rubs, and spices. B-Rob turned me on to this stuff, and I tell you what, it's great. It's a homemade blend of the finest ingredients sourced from Texas gardens, farmers, and markets. And it's some good shit. I tell you what, try the smoke and sweetness, or you can try Hoppy's favorite, the Mad Cow, which is a nice peppery slap in the face. One taste, and you'll be hooked. Hooks, rubs, and spices.